This is NOScast here, episode 21. We have Itchy Skink.
Skink.
Skank? You're
No, I'm
Skank.
just kidding, dude. It's itchy skink. You're right. I was
I
just
like
being
the
stupid.
Skank one better, but we'll go with Itchy. We'll go with Itchy Skink. So, how has been your day so far?
Today, man, it was all right. I had a fun day. I mean, I have a whole lot more to talk about than just today. Like, there's been some stuff that's been happening. Um,
Hmm.
not too much has gone on today. Like, I've been home, just chilling. I went to the mall earlier, had some bubble tea, and hung out with some friends, but not too much other than that. Not too much, as you can say, productive today.
That's cool. I slept till 12. I worked last night, at my
Yeah,
shitty job, Walmart, that fucking place. I worked, so, and I'm tired as hell. I'm on 4 hours of sleep, so, my day is going cool, I guess.
4 hours of sleep. I mean, you could do it, but like you probably should get
Four
some more
hours
sleep.
is I'm gonna be like shit, bro. I'm gonna be
You don't want to do this tomorrow, man?
huh?
Are you sure you don't want to do this podcast tomorrow?
Nah, I want to do it today. We're doing it today. Fuck it. We're already doing it, so fuck it.
Okay.
We're already in this shit, so it's whatever. We'll 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 see how an hour feels like when we do this for an hour. We'll
Right.
see.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so let's get off topic on here. Let's get away from all that. Mall for Two for 2022 teaser. Well, not teaser. The emblem or like what Mall for Two is gonna look like came out like the other
Right.
day,
Okay. That's
and
cool.
and I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even think about it. Like that's the type of stuff's not really in the forefront of my mind these days. But like, I mean, I like Modern Warfare. I hope it's good. I hope it's a good game. Shit, am I too excited for Call of Duty? I'm not gonna get it right away. Um, man, like for one, I'm not like really working a good paying job at the moment. I have to pay for school and stuff like that. So like, I don't really need to be like about the time it comes out. I'm in the middle of my semester, so
Yeah. Well, like I don't know. Vanguard did pretty bad. I all I played season one barely, and then that was it. I haven't played season two. I haven't started season three. Suppose you're doing Godzilla versus King Kong in
yeah, I saw
Warzone.
that on Warzone. What about Warzone 2? Is that just a rumor? I've been hearing
No,
stuff about it, but
that's. I think that's for real. I think. Well,
Warzone
I
2?
think it's still a rumor, but like it's. I think it's becoming a real thing.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, yeah, like there's only so much you can only fill it so far up with micro DLC and stuff like that until it's become overwhelming. At least with the way it's architected. Um, but like I don't know what they're gonna do with the second one. Like, are they just gonna add like I don't know, man.
Well, they're this Warzone two is gonna be next gen exclusive. I believe so. It's gonna be next gen exclusive, so they have free power to basically do whatever they want. As in, uh, uh, what's the name? As in, I want to say
Make the
cameras,
maps bigger and
bigger
all that.
maps,
Bigger maps, high
textures,
resolution
graphics. That's what it's called.
models.
Models, graphics, you name it. It would be all
Mhm.
just bigger and whatnot, which is cool. But they're taking out a large player base, as in PS4
Right.
and the Xbox One.
Right.
But you know, it comes to a time where
What's up?
you
Uh,
you
Kyle's upstairs.
you gotta do what you gotta do at the end of the day.
Huh? I'm actually in a podcast. I'm doing a podcast.
So we had some interruptions. You know, it's whatever. Um, what were we talking about though? We were talking about the
Yeah.
new Marvel for two.
Oh yeah. The emblem.
Yeah, the emblem and whatnot. Um, I'm excited. It's I don't know. Vanguard did pretty bad, but Modern War. I'm excited because it's Modern Warfare 2, whatnot, and hopefully
Right.
this is a lot better than Modern Warfare and whatnot.
Right.
I just hope they don't fuck it up this time. That's really a lot. All I hope is that they just don't fuck it up. Xbox
Like,
bought Activision, so like,
well, it's not all the way through. Like, yes, it's going through, but it's not all the way through. Just like with Elon Musk buying Twitter, that's not done for like another 6 months.
that's not done for another what?
6 months.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's true. But you know, it I don't know. I just hope they just don't fuck it up. That's just me. Like I just hope they really just don't fuck it up. And when I and they do as good or even better than they did for Marvel 2019 and whatnot. And Warzone 2 doesn't suck either. So itchy.
Well,
Yeah.
how do you really feel about the first Warzone? Like
It was
you're saying
cool.
how much you're saying like, oh, it's gonna be better, it's gonna be better. Like, I think this is really where like the hype train is at. Like, that the problem with the hype train is that like you have all your hopes and stuff. Like, what if it's the same, but because you were expecting it so hard to be better that it feels worse? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, like you said, how much more better can they make it?
Yeah,
It
like perhaps it'll have better graphics, and that'll be cool. It'll have better textures, bigger maps, and stuff like that. But maybe the gameplay feels exactly the same. So like maybe it's disappointing because of that. Maybe because like, yeah, even though all you're expecting is better graphics and stuff like that, like what are you really expecting?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, what are you really expecting? Like,
Right.
you only can do so much with a Warzone to be exact because
No, I mean, I'm not saying that exactly because it's more than just battle royale. Obviously, Warzone's evolved from Warzone because yeah, it's all like battle royale, but it's the large scale free to play extension to Call of Duty.
yeah. So like it's I just hope they bring FOV. Like that's really all I hope
Console, yeah,
to console. It's already on PC and I played on PC
uh
like
huh.
one time and it was cool and whatnot, even though I have a shitty ass PC. But or laptop. But like it was
Well,
cool
the
and
both
when
of us, we've both been through like the website and stuff and seeing stuff about how FOV on console has been like talked about for a long
a
time,
long time. It's
a
been
long
demanded
time.
for a long time. And like
I really don't see why they can't do it. Like, I know they're trying to hit certain marks, and I don't know if it's because of like pressure on like the console manufacturer side to like put the console in the best light possible. Because doing something like changing FOV
could
really does change
yeah.
the dynamics of how the game plays, how the game
Yeah.
runs.
Which
Um,
it yeah, that's true. And taking a larger of a player base as in the Xbox One and the PS4 could
mhm.
make this game a whole lot better in a way because you're in a way, and I mean by in a way as in you're taking a whole player base out and you're pressing a lot of just
So
series.
you're saying that if they're going to continue doing that, because what they could do is they could just open it up and be like, okay, everybody has their settings they can run. Because let's say
Yeah.
like this next game, let's say it's still capable of running just fine on a 1060, right?
Hmm.
So I see no problems of it running just fine on an Xbox One X, you know?
Hmm.
But like
Yeah.
on a 1060, you're expected to like set your own settings and stuff like that, make the game run, right?
Hmm.
Um, but like on an Xbox, you're like, oh, you just put the disc in and it runs. So
Yeah.
like maybe if they normalize the behavior of settings, Like maybe like every game has default settings, and it's easier for consoles to have default settings and PC to have default settings. But I say like, hey, like instead of getting rid of the whole sector, like you say, oh, we're targeting this platform. Um, it's been tested on this platform. So like architecture wise, like as long as the architecture is, because I don't know how different the architecture between the Xbox One and the in the series consoles are. I know it is different, quite different actually, but depending on what parts of it are different, like how hard it is to really make it work on both. If you enable something like settings like that, like if you just have lower texture resolution, just like you do in PC, you
Well,
know.
yeah, I feel like
Um,
consoles should be able to do what people can do on PC, as in go into the settings and make it, do what they want to do. I feel like they should be able to do that. But
because like consoles, they really started the trend of dynamic resolution.
yeah,
That's really what consoles use, and like that wasn't a feature on PC for a long time. That is actually a feature on PC games. Like I
yeah,
actually see that as dynamic resolution. That was a thing that started with like Xbox and
yeah,
like PlayStation 4.
yeah. Which is cool and all. Like it's
Um,
cool and shit. But it's just like
but really, what that is for is like so you can have times where like if it was to instead of lowering your rate, you just lower your resolution so you can keep the same frame rate. So
hmm
it's like it should be barely noticeable. But sometimes if you have really big lights, it's really noticeable.
yeah. Which I don't know. Like you know, it's it. The difference between like 360 to Xbox One, Xbox One to the Series X is that to 360 to Xbox One was a big jump. Okay.
Mhm. Except
To
a
the,
lot of people back then that are like our age now, but they're like back then, they thought that the jump between the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One wasn't that big.
no, it was a big jump. It was a huge jump in
Yeah,
a way. And
like
now,
especially with the connectivity and stuff. That like
well, yeah, well, that's what I'm
the
saying.
the
Now,
360 was capable of doing that type of stuff, but it's definitely more capable on the
well, that's
newer
what I'm
hardware.
saying. You, it would make it easier on newer hardware than just doing on old hardware.
Mhm.
Which I'm saying, like, to the Xbox One slash One X to the Series X is a lot smaller jump. It's still like a big jump in a way, but it's still like a lot
You're not
small.
even what type of monitor are you running your Xbox Series console on?
A 1080p
It's a
140.
1080p 140. So are you getting the full 140 out of it? Or are
No,
you using that 140? No. So
no.
you're not using the frame rate. So you're not really experiencing the full jump. I mean, the Xbox One X was technically capable of what 1080p 120 or
Mhm.
like 14. It was 1440p 120.
Mhm.
It was capable of 4K 60, right? 10
Mhm.
and 1440 120.
Mhm.
Only on certain games, like only like when the series or not the series, but the One X first came out. Only the games that were like then that
Mhm.
updated for it, they were capable of doing that. But all the games that came out after that were built for the One X. They couldn't
Mhm.
run like that because they actually made the games more difficult to run. When that happened, that's why like we keep up. That's why like we see diminishing returns. Like you see big things at the beginning of a console life cycle, but then like things get better and better and better, and you don't even notice it because the developers have to learn as they go along with it. Because like the new technologies bring new techniques, and with new techniques, people don't really know what they're doing. So when the console first comes out, it's like the games they look better than the last gen, but they don't look that much better. But then by the end of the generation, you can see within the same generation, like you can see it with Xbox 360. The games that came out at the beginning of the Xbox 360 didn't look as good as the games that came out at the end of the Xbox 360. Do you think so?
I don't know. Like,
Some games, yes. Like first party games, they knew it. They already had the machine long before the third.
yeah, that is true. But that like it like hard like it. I'm stuttering over my words. Like, look at it like this: from Xbox One, not Xbox One, to the original Xbox to the Series 360 was what? Would you say that was a big jump?
The Xbox One to the or the 360 to the Xbox One.
No, to the original Xbox to the Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, that was a huge jump.
Okay, now was it demonetized from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One? Like, it was compressed a lot more. As in,
Yeah, the
it was
Xbox
still a big
360 to the
jump, but
yeah, but it wasn't as big.
it wasn't as big to the original Xbox to the Xbox
Hmm
360. And then from the Xbox One slash One X to the Series X, it got even smaller. And that is
hmm
because, or correct me if I'm wrong, is because of technology. Technology is growing bigger, but like it's growing big, but like you can't see a difference because it's kind of the same in a way. Like, yeah, you got 4K and 8K and whatnot, 4K 120,
hmm
8K 60 or whatever, but technology is growing in a way where you can't really tell anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
From
right,
a
right.
4K
Well,
70
like
inch TV, from an 8K 70 inch, like, you know what I'm saying? You really can't tell.
yeah, and those like those distance. What really matters with that is really the distance away from the monitor you're sitting. So like really, if you're never planning on sitting farther back than a certain point, then you never need a screen bigger than that, unless you really just want to have a wall.
Yeah,
Which I mean is very enticing. Like doing some like cool AR stuff would be really cool with having wall panel.
well,
Like if you had,
well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like AR and VR, we'll get to that point where you'll really see a change in like gaming and whatnot. You know, like you really like gaming has came a long way, and they are doing like CGI and whatnot, and these gaming shit and whatnot, and it's becoming realistic as fuck. But that's just that though. With VR, there's more of you're in control of the character, not just using
right, right.
analog sticks. Even though yes, you are using analog sticks with a VR headset and whatnot in a way, but
I
you're
mean, some
still
of it, like it depends on which ones you're using. Like, have
yeah.
you
That
ever used an Omni or anything like?
have I ever used a VR? What?
Have you ever used an Omni or anything like that?
No.
Like you can, there's some like there the technology exists for you to like fully physically run around, walk around, and there's like prototype technology where you can like physically like flip, like you can grab like climb mountains in your suspend. Like there's stuff that exists like that. There's
Yeah, but
haptic
it's all like really expensive though.
prototype, yeah, really expensive prototype technology, not really for sale um, technology.
Yeah, and but it's all really expensive though. Just like when
Mhm.
8K came out in Japan and whatnot, it was really expensive. Now it's came down. Now it's like $2,000 and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
come down a lot. This stuff will eventually come down to a lower price, and you can get them a lot cheaper.
Some of it will, but like maybe like the concept of how you use it will change. Instead of a lot of people owning it, maybe like more places will pick up technology like this. Like like those like arcades, right? How they have that roller coaster ride that like moves you around, the haptic feedback ride. Well, I recently went to like a Dave and Buster's that had a VR thing, and like I've been to a couple of places that have VR stuff, but this they had like a VR haptic like roller coaster type ride where you're like interacting with it, but it's VR, and it was more immersive than the older school like you have a big monitor in front of you and you're just kind of in a chamber like type of haptic, like moving around type rigs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah,
much the same technology, but it felt cooler.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
that's
like they'll eventually like evolve. Arcades and stuff will evolve into getting this type of technology. Like it'll be more and more expensive, but like if that's too expensive for the regular person to keep at the home, but it's cool enough for people to actually seek it out. Because I could imagine like people doing full like racing simulation and like in a full body like suspended haptic like cage. So like you can
Mhm.
have simulation of like some acceleration feeling through some physical motion through the like the machinery. Obviously, engineering would have to be top spec, but like hopefully enough people are qualified to be able to allow us to live a life like that. You know, like
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's it just depends. Like, it really just depends on how technology comes in a way into this world of whatever. You know, it really just depends and whatnot. And a lot of people are afraid of technology.
mm-hmm. Well,
And
yeah, there's definitely a lot of
like my team lead, my coworker team lead or whatever, he's, you know, a white dude and he's like redneck as fuck. He's like one of those people. And he saw that I had an Apple Watch, as I got Apple Watch for my birthday and whatnot. And he's like, "Oh, you're one of those people." You know, I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "That's the start of robots taking over and whatnot." I'm like, "What are you talking about, man?" Like, like he's like one of those conspiracy theories type people. You know what I'm saying?
well, I mean, some people have like a reason to like people are really tied to the idea of what life is now. But like the idea of like as 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 time goes on, the idea of like ownership change, especially when things become so abundant that like, oh yeah, you can just it's easier to just call it on demand. Just like keep maintain one yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Like Uber is an example. A lot of people have you ever used Uber?
Not exact. Like I used it a couple times, but I never like personally used it. Like it was
Right,
from like
right. But
my
like
sister or whatever.
would you say it's like a convenience?
Yeah, like it's like when I
But
first.
like would you say if it was easier, would you use it more?
Yeah.
If it wasn't so expensive,
Well,
for
like it's not even just that. It's like it's different than just using a taxi or whatever. And
right,
but
but like imagine like there's nobody but imagine like we have a level of self driving sometime in the future where you literally call on it. You can literally schedule it the day before. Like I have something to do tomorrow. Schedule you can have a car scheduled every single day and it'll be
Mm-hmm.
on time every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like
And it'd be just you like on the train.
see, like I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Like Uber, I don't have a problem, or Lyft, or you know whatever. I don't have a problem with those things. It's just like, but in the back of your mind, you're getting into someone's car that you don't
Right, but
know.
this wouldn't be somebody's car. This would be nobody's car. This would be car that is freely available to
Yeah, like
everybody.
yeah, that like I said, that would be different though. Like,
Yeah,
but like when I first started using Uber, when I first did Uber, not personally, but like when I first got into Uber, I was really uncomfortable.
hmm I know what you
Like,
mean. The only ever time I've ever been in an Uber was actually the Uber driver was somebody that I personally knew,
mm-hmm.
and I've never like actually used Uber. I just knew they drove for Uber.
Yeah, well that's different. Like you know this person, so it's kind of different. But like
But
Uber,
I know what you mean. Like
like
it's just somebody's car.
yeah, you're getting like it's different than getting to a taxi. That's like a company car. Like it's not their car. It's a company car. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Uber is someone is using a service to drive people around, making
Their
money.
car's supposed to reach a certain criteria.
Yeah, well that's
I don't.
true also.
Yeah, if it doesn't meet that criteria, then they shouldn't be driving for Uber. In fact, they can get reported and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But like,
well that's well yeah, but it's just like it's a strange like yeah taxi cars like that's a stranger too, but it's a stranger. You get into their car and they're paying them money to
mhm.
drive you a place, and like this is their personal car and whatnot. Like it just feels awkward and weird and whatnot, you know?
Right, and it's an awkward transition. Like
Yeah.
we're transitioning because right now we live in a world where most of the cars are just owned by individual people, but
Mm-hmm.
individual people aren't always using their cars. They just have the cars, right? But
Uh-huh.
like we have enough cars where like people can call cars on demand if
Mm-hmm.
the cars were out.
Yeah.
So like we're in like we don't have like the level of like a self-driving car to where um you can just have a system to where like you can automatically call self-driving cars that nobody really owns to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um but like we have plenty of cars that exist that anybody can call upon, which is the service, the decentralized. Well, it's a centralized service, but like it's not centralized in the way that it's the vehicles. In some of its fleets, I believe it does, but not all of its fleets.
Well,
Like
yeah.
Uber.
Like it's different than Uber Eats and DoorDash.
Uh,
Like Uber Eats and DoorDash is different because it's you're not getting into someone's car. You're using your people are picking your food up and taking it to you, as in delivery people. All right, we're back. Sorry, we had a corruption again for some reason. My video stopped recording for some reason. I don't know why. That was a little weird. So,
you don't know why?
no, I do not know why.
I think you know why, but like,
Tell me why my video. It was like space drive with the hard drive or whatever. I don't know.
yeah, that's storage. You need to get a drive to like store because how much storage do you have?
Like 30 gigs or
Like
whatever.
30 gig? Like I'm talking about totally. Like
Oh, I had like I'm supposed to have like 500, and I've used it
yeah, so you
for
didn't have and you were recording like you're literally only getting audio right now, but you're also getting like technically a black screen,
yeah.
1080p,
Mm-hmm.
video, 60 FPS was it?
30.
30 FPS. So like I just told you to turn it down to 720. I don't know how like depending on I don't know, maybe it is capturing every single frame. That'd be crazy because I know sometimes like there could be like an algorithm it's like is the same frame. If it's the same frame, then just save it as the same frame and just remember to run this frame this many times. But I don't know.
I don't know, to be honest. But where were we at though? What were
Uh,
we talking about?
play back what you had previously. Get back to the end of it. It was a second. You have that.
Can I do that?
You should be able to. Like you can just play
This
it,
is
can't you?
NOScast.
Didn't you save it as a recording? Um,
Mm-hmm. In delivery people. Okay, we were talking about Uber.
yeah,
We
yeah.
were talking about Uber and shit. So anyway, back to us like Uber and DoorDash. So back to what I was saying. So like is different between Uber Eats and DoorDash. Like you have people delivering your food to you and stuff, which is fine. Like there's been
It's fine.
instances that have been a little weird and whatnot.
Has it? I've
Yeah.
never had any weird instances.
Huh?
I've never had any weird instances, but I haven't used it that often. How often do
Well,
you use
like
it?
I don't I haven't used it in years.
You
Like
haven't used it
years.
in years? Okay, I've used it in like less than a year, but um,
Well, I was talking about DoorDash. Like Uber, I haven't used in years. DoorDash has been
oh yeah, I haven't used
maybe
Uber ever.
DoorDash has been like maybe a year or so. I haven't used DoorDash and whatnot. But like I don't know. Like I feel more safe using DoorDash, even though yeah, it is strangers picking up your food and taking it to you and whatnot. Like
Right, but so is the delivery guy at Pizza Hut.
yeah, but he works for a corporate company though.
Yeah, but
Uber and DoorDash is a corporate company, but they're
they're
kind of like
decentralized.
self-employed, if you want to put it in that way.
They are self-employed, yes, but the way California has it set up, no, they're not. Because California kind of changed the way that's like because of the requirements. Technically, if you go with the self-employed requirements, then what California is forcing Uber to do is not really self-employed, defined by like what other states define self-employed as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, which that's what I'm saying. Like it's weird. It's all weird. Like yeah, it's been around since what 2013, I think. All this shit
Mhm.
until like 10 years later still feels weird. Uber Eats, Lyft, DoorDash, Uber, and the whole thing. Like, it
Mhm.
still feels weird. Like, I'm still not used to it in a way, even though it's been around for like fucking ever now. But it still feels weird, you know, and whatnot. It's still like something that like a strange person is doing this, and I pay them money.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. That's just me, in a way, and
I
whatnot.
mean, it's really the same way. It's like really, if you think about it, it's the same thing with the person drive. Like if you were to be driving for Pizza Hut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really feel like just because you are wearing the Pizza Hut outfit that you're more trustworthy than somebody wearing like doing DoorDash? Statistically,
Yeah,
you do.
I
Why?
feel like
Because there's less. Because there's less of there's less Pizza Hut drivers than there are DoorDash drivers.
no, it's that like you're working for a corporate company. Your job is to
But
deliver
but do
shit.
you listen, Jacob? You work for Walmart.
Uh huh.
Walmart is a corporate company.
Yes.
Do you give a fuck?
No.
Exactly.
No, I don't care or give a fuck. No, I hate that place. So I wish it dies and burns.
Exactly. Exactly. So do you believe people working for Pizza Hut might feel the same way?
Probably.
Pe- People, there might be people. There are people that enjoy DoorDash and stuff like that, but there's also people that feel the same way about that people feel about working at Walmart or Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like those people, maybe they're not the ones that you should trust, whether they're working for Pizza Hut directly or DoorDash or Uber
Yeah.
Eats.
Yeah. That is true. I don't know. Like, it's just awkward and weird and whatnot.
Right.
Like it's just
Uh,
awkward and weird to me
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. It's
whatnot.
just it's not normal yet for you.
No, it's not
It
normal.
it'll become more normal as you see it more. Like it normalizes as you just it keeps happening as it keeps occurring.
Yeah, like, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
it,
that's only if you let it keep occurring because it's a thing. It's a service. If you're not using it, it's not going to keep occurring for you. So
well, yeah, I barely use fucking DoorDash and
yeah.
like, like, okay, so my friend's girlfriend, I don't still does or used to work for DoorDash and whatnot, and like
Uh,
would deliver shit and whatnot. And me and my friend and his girlfriend literally like drove in a car. Well, she drove and rode around with her and just DoorDash shit for like 6 hours and whatnot, which was cool. Like, it was kind of fun in a way because like you were delivering shit. I wasn't delivering,
right.
and he wasn't delivering. She was the one delivering. We were just like accompanying her basically and whatnot. And it was kind of fun in a way that you were in a car
And
picking up people's
you're saying
food,
it's
and
like
you're
you wouldn't be able to do that with Pizza Hut.
no, you wouldn't be able to take your friends in your car and deliver pizzas while you're working. You're like,
Are you
that was
saying what are you saying this is a good thing or a bad thing, a pro or a con for the
DoorDash.
independent? Yeah, for the independent workers
Like,
for
I feel like
DoorDash.
it's a good thing that you're able to like independently do it and whatnot, and like take your friends or whoever and drive around and deliver whatever the fuck, you know.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like that's a pro thing because if you're working for Round Table or Pizza Hut or whatever, you can't do that. You can't just pick up your friends and just deliver shit with them while they're in the
That's
car
right,
and
because
whatnot.
you take no ownership in the process.
Yeah, but when you're doing Uber Eats or DoorDash and whatnot, you can do that.
Or you are liable.
Well, yeah, you can do that in a way. You can
Right. You are liable to so like if you're working for the corporation is liable. You are also liable for stuff. But when you're working for Uber Eats or DoorDash, you are liable for everything you do. So if you are to do something wrong, then you would be in more trouble than if you were to be working for a place like pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're self-employed.
Yeah.
Uber Eats and DoorDash is just a third party people.
Mm-hmm.
They take you make the money, they take the profit, and you take profit also. They take a
Like, have you ever
percentage.
seen the like Walmart? There's people that do shopping for like
Yeah,
Walmart and stuff too.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's people that do shopping. Like there's now like DoorDash, Uber Eats,
Uh-huh.
Uber, and whatnot. There's people that actually go shopping for you and whatnot, which
Yeah.
I feel like that's cool in a
Great.
way. It's
Yeah.
still
Like.
weird. It's still
Uh,
weird to me. Like that's still weird because you're having a
it's
straightforward.
so like I can't imagine doing it because it's so expensive. But I'm excited for like when robots start doing it.
Well, like it's not just because it's so expensive or whatever, or you know.
It is expensive. It'll be
Well,
cheaper when robots do
well, yeah, that's
it.
robots. Well, that is true, but it's like it's just still weird. Like it's just awkward weird because it's a stranger that's handling your shit and whatnot.
Right. Do you think it would be less weird if robots were doing it?
Yeah, it would be less weird.
Like, imagine nobody ever having to actually go to the store. Like, at first, it's interfacing with the store, so people are still going to the store. Then eventually, nobody ever goes to the store, so robots are just interfacing with the warehouse and then directly to you. And then there'd
Yeah.
be a network of warehouses between the cities, and then
Mm-hmm.
it would be interchanging based upon predictions of daily demand.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's eventually gonna probably come down to that in a way.
But like
And
this is like a awkward stepping through because like I'm in the same like I like that it exists, but I'm in the same boat as you. It's like not really, I'm not really comfortable using it.
well,
Like
yeah,
I don't
it's awkward. That's like
right,
that's all. It's just awkward. Like you're
right.
using someone else for a service. You
Mhm.
know, that's all that's all these things are. It's a service. It's self-employed services and
Yeah, it's the
whatnot.
service industry. It's you're a self-employed service industry worker.
Yeah, which you can make a lot of money doing it, but
Right.
you have to kind of
You
make
have
your
to
own.
account for costs. Like you're not getting any insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting any like benefits. So so you're making a lot of money, but you got to account for like that type of stuff. So, do you really account for how much money your benefits cost at work?
No,
So, if you accounted for it, do you think it would be like look really great compared to like even the great payments on Uber Eats or something like that? Because like they're not
they
getting
probably
directly
would look
paid,
like shit.
like compared to
They probably would look like shit. Probably.
maybe it depends on where you're at. Like it really depends on where you're at with those apps.
Well,
Like location
that's
is what
true.
matters.
I don't know. Like I feel like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Uber, whatever, is more like a side hustle. You know, you
Right,
don't
right, right.
make it your main shit. You want it. It's just more like a side hustle to get a little bit more money. You know, that's all that shit is. I would not make it my main job.
No, no, it would definitely be stressful because it'd be the same thing as working at the delivery driver. It would be the same thing as doing that. It would be the same thing as being a taxi driver. Like you would be stressed like because those jobs are stressful.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
If it was something you were doing like on the side, it's like, oh yeah, I could do this, make an extra couple bucks. Like I'm already making okay money doing this over here. Like I'll
well,
just
yeah,
do this for fun.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more like it's well, that's why there's no benefits because it's not meant to be a main job. None of DoorDash, Uber,
No, it's because it's self-employed.
yeah,
Like
it's to
if
be a side hustle.
right, right. Like, cause you know how like I talked to you before about like owner operators, because that's what my brother wants to be. He wants to be an owner operator for like a truck driver. Like he wants to be a truck driver owner operator. Um,
Uh-huh.
and like how we laughed about like, oh, he wouldn't be able to go to California because they're not allowed in California. Like you can't be an
Uh-huh.
owner operator in California.
I did not know that.
Um, yeah, which this is pretty much the same thing. Which like there is weird laws around like Uber and stuff like that because like they are owner operators. Like they don't own Uber, but they own their vehicle. They own everything that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Yeah.
the law, like, but they've done some weird things. Like the law is kind of special in that case. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With which that's what I'm saying. Like it's slowly but surely gonna come to what we're all thinking of and whatnot.
right.
And whatnot. Which I'm fine with that, whatever. If robots wanna take over, fuck it. But
It's
like
not robots. I mean, really, it is robots taking over. But like, it's people can keep doing what they keep doing. Like, if you
well
want to
like
work, you can work. But the idea of work will evolve.
well that's
What
like
work is,
well yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like when I remember the movie I Robot, the movie with Will Smith and whatnot,
right?
people are afraid that's gonna happen.
I mean, what with like AI, like becoming sentient and stuff like that?
Yes.
I mean, not now.
Well, no, of course
Maybe.
not now, but like we're eventually getting to that point in a way.
Are you scared of robots becoming sentient, Jacob?
No, I'm not. To me, I'm not scared. Like I'm not saying me.
I
I'm just saying people
right, right.
are scared that eventually we're gonna be controlled by robots, and robots are gonna take over the world, and we're all just gonna be like some dummies and whatnot.
No,
Like
we just have to be smarter about what we're doing.
well, that's true. Like you know AI slash Siri, Amazon, and all these like
Yeah,
Alexa actually, not Alexa and whatnot are AI beings in a way that
yeah,
are
but they're really basic. Like,
yeah, they're really basic, and but they're people think that this is a turnaround or a stepping stone of the government trying to take over the world in a way or whatever or some type of shit. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm not saying that's true. I'm not scared of that or whatever. It's whatever at the end of the day. But people, not me, but
like people you've heard.
people I've heard, people I work with, people in general are afraid of the future. You know,
Yeah, definitely. That's what's happened in the past. People were scared when the mills came around, and they no longer could make money off of knitting um, in their houses.
well,
So then factories started to become the main way of life, and so on and
well,
so forth, and child labor laws.
well, yeah, and but that's like people look at movies
Right.
like Oh I Robot, Passengers, like all these futuristic movies in a way, and be like that could really happen.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Movies, movies have a big thing in the future, have a big impact of what people think the future is gonna be. And
Definitely.
it's not that and all these are just movies. Just movies. Movies. Of Avatar and like the avatars and the blue people and whatnot. Avatar and whatnot and the whole shit that
Mhm.
these things could be real. I don't think Star Wars could be put into play, but you get what I'm saying. Like these movies could be real though. These movies could have a real impact of what this world could possibly be and what we
Of
could do in
course.
space and if we could live on Mars and the whole shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I just look at
Yeah.
move I just look at movies as just movies of an actor or a director or people telling a story of what they want to tell, which is true. But people go to the hella overboard to extent in a way, as in thinking these things can really happen and whatnot. You know.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about that? Do you think people are just being crazy and just being really
No, I
fucking stupid?
definitely think like history is repeating itself. Um, it's a transition period, and like every time there's a big transition period, there's always been resistance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's expected to happen. It'll eventually either like destroy the whole transition and keep and remain and maintain the status quo, or the transition will happen and it'll be a new status quo.
Well, yeah, and like people are scared of change.
Yeah, people are
Pe-
always scared of change, but change
people,
happens.
yeah, change happens no matter what, but people have a tendency to not want movies to come to real life and whatnot,
Right, right.
which in some
Because
cases,
movies are like thought to be like warnings.
yeah, which you can look at them, they are, but it's
Yeah,
another way of directors and actors telling a story that they want to tell into a movie and whatnot.
of course.
But
Yeah,
people have these theories or psychological theories and whatnot in the dark deep in their mind, in the back of their mind,
if this
people know
happens, then
that
we're
people
fucked.
know what's up.
Uh huh.
You know, it. I kind of believe that in a way.
Like, what if there's like a net like a hidden network that we don't really know? Like, we're all really connected, but, like, and we are all warning each other that we're doing.
well, yeah, like it's it's really weird. Like it's really awkward and weird that you know it's fantasies and whatnot in a way
Uh
that
huh.
and journey to the center of the earth, journey to Mystery Island or whatever, like Godzilla versus King Kong, all these Transformers, all these like movies that can't be real, but in the dark deep in your mind you have a thing that maybe this can be real, that maybe these directors
Well, you
know
also got to think like
something.
these. You people hate to see movies become into real life. Well, don't you ever think about how a lot of people get their inspiration to develop things? Um, like movies are to be like, oh, this could be a thing. Like some, especially the movies that are like realistic about it, which a lot of movies they do use real physics, which means it could be real.
Mm-hmm.
It's just maybe when the movie was made, technology didn't exist for it.
Yeah.
So like when you see things that's like that, where it's like, oh yeah, um, we hate to see that come into real life, but like maybe the idea, like people are scared of that because they've seen it go wrong, but they didn't really see it go wrong. They've seen a fictional, which and maybe it is like a warning. Maybe it's like, oh, maybe there's somebody from the future that saw this happen and come back. Like I don't know, it's some crazy shit. Because
Well,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about? This
Well, yeah. And that's when, like, but you always get like on the news that someone said this, that someone came from the future and came down and said that this is what's gonna happen in whatever time period and blah 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 and all those stuff, and they sound crazy, which it's kind of are crazy. They
right.
kind of, you know, they put these predictions out that Donald Trump isn't president no more, and this, that, and the third, and this, it's all these bunch of shit, and you just hear it and you're just like, this motherfucker's like on crack and cocaine or whatever. Like this motherfucker's crazy, like, you know. But
Uh-huh.
drugs have a big factor in a lot of this stuff and whatnot, and people being
Talking about in
crazy.
the way people perceive stuff, like
Yeah, and way people perceive stuff in a way when it kind of looks. a little weird that they're on drugs, and you know what they're saying is wild and out of the
Right,
ordinary.
right.
It just sounds
Conspiracy.
crazy and whatnot. Which is, it's whatever at the end of the day, that it is what it is at that point.
What it is, what it is.
But I don't know, like, movies are always
She,
gonna be movies and whatnot,
movies are what they are.
huh?
And movies are what they are.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Movies are always gonna be movies, but at the same time, like, you know, you can't help how people feel because these old people are not really gonna see what the future's gonna be like. You know, like these all these old people are really not gonna see what the future is gonna be like. Me, you, all these other young people, 30s, maybe 40s, are gonna see what the future is gonna be like. 50s even, they're gonna see. Once you get to 60s, 70s, maybe even 60s, are gonna see what the future is gonna be like. 70s, 80s, 90s, who really knows what they're gonna see?
Right, right.
You
And
know,
what do you feel about? Okay, so in the future of technology, how do you feel about cars for yourself? You always imagine yourself like owning a car into the future, into the rest of your life.
yeah, yeah. It's just
But
going
what if
all
that's not the case? What if that's not the case?
as
What if like
in.
after like okay, you get your car, right? And then you have this car for a couple of years, but then like let's say the technology starts coming around within like 5 to 10 years, right?
Hmm.
Would you like be so adamant to continue buying your own car, or would you give in to like the efficiency of like just being able to have one on command at a cheap cost?
I don't know. To be exact, I really don't
Do
know.
what?
Like, I
You
I
don't
don't
know?
I don't know to be exact. Like, that's kind of something that
You hadn't thought about?
it's not that I've thought about. It's like,
You didn't think it would be like that soon.
yeah, I don't think it would be like that soon or whatever. Or to me, it's just like I want to drive myself. Like, I don't have a problem people driving for me, or just a car just driving me, just in general. Like, I don't have a problem with that. It's just like me having my hands on this, or hand or whatever, on the steering wheel, pressing the gas, having a control of myself is just something that I like.
What if they let you do that as well?
Then it depends on the cost. It
Like, would
depends
you
how
want to
expensive it is.
drive like an electric Corvette in the future with like the option to enable like the gasoline sound, like the gas version sound?
Like, that would be dope.
Or like, would you like what if? Because like I would be fine with like if we just transitioned like into plug-in hybrids, especially if the battery technology gets really good. But like if you ever die with the battery, especially with the infrastructure not being that good yet with electric batteries going across the U.S. Um,
Well, like, to me, it's like I don't have a problem with electricity or electric cars. I don't have a problem with that. It's
well, have
that,
you noticed how everything's gone from like like plug-in hybrids have like just popped up out of nowhere in the past like year or two?
well, yeah, they have. And the thing with that is, like, hybrids are cool. It's still engine, it's still gasoline,
Mm.
but it's hybrid, which is electric also.
But like
Which,
the plug-in hybrid in particular.
what's the difference between a plug-in hybrid?
Well, the regular hybrid, you have to fill up the gas and use the gasoline to charge up the battery.
Okay.
To then like use the battery to then take over from the gasoline engine. Where the plug-in hybrid is you can charge it up separately. Whereas it also
Oh,
charges from the gasoline engine as well. But like you don't have to use the gasoline engine because
yeah,
it's an efficiency thing.
yeah,
Depending on how you get your power to your house, then it's more efficient than having the gasoline engine actually charge the battery.
yeah. Well, to me, it's like I just like hearing the engine sounds. That's
Right.
just me hearing, you know, a VA with high exhaust and the whole shit, and just big old
Right.
like
Right. And that's
and
the
just
problem. That's a lot of people like that sound,
and
but it's
just
not.
hauling down ass and just
Uh huh.
hearing like what I'm saying, like I just like that noise. Hearing an electric car go you know what I'm saying, like there's no excitement to that. No, hearing a V12 of V6 of V8, like four cylinders are cool, but like
But the
but the ex-
acceleration is good.
but the acceleration of the engine noise just going. It's testosterone basically. To me, I call it testosterone because it is. It's testosterone. You feel a full loss testosterone. You just feel your muscles pumping and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? With electric,
Mm.
like it's like a roller coaster. That's really what it is. It's like a roller coaster. You
Yeah, because a
know?
roller coaster is like an electric. Like, yeah, that's literally what it is.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster, and
Mhm.
it's quiet. Like yes, when you press on the gas and you're hauling ass, you do hear that, but like it's not the same. It's like an RC car. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I just like the high big engine noises and whatnot. Hybrids are cool. You still get the high big engine noises and whatnot. That's cool. I don't mind that. It's better on gas with some stuff when you still get the high engine noises. But once you go full electric, all that goes away. And yes,
Would you pay for a package that gave you those sounds?
it depends on how good it sounds.
Right. Exactly.
Like
So like, would you pay for?
if it literally sounds like, let's say, a car using a V8 noise. You know what I'm saying? If it literally sounds like that, and you hit the gas and you rev it and you literally and
Well,
you
let's say they get to the point, right, to where they can no longer legally produce and sell
yes,
gasoline cars, but
yes,
they can
yes.
produce them for themselves, right? So they can produce the same car with equivalent specs in like gasoline, and they can record the sound for that same car, so it can have the same audio. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't sell you the gasoline car because that's legal
Yeah,
in the future.
yeah. Well, like I said, like if they put a speaker, like a fake exhaust, say they have an exhauster, but it's fake, and it's just like a speaker there, a big loud speaker, and when you hit
But what
the
if it's just for you to hear, not for everybody else to hear? Would it have to be external, or would you just hearing it be enough?
no, it has to be external.
You have to be
Like
able to like show off, like
yeah, like to me, like hearing the engine sounds cool, but like I like to show off in a way. Like I like to like have everyone else hear the big, loud, obnoxious engine sound. You
now,
know what I'm
Jacob.
saying?
Would you imagine? Because I actually asked this to Keith. Um, so I talked to you earlier in this podcast. I brought up about the full haptic, like being able to do like racing simulation in VR, right? So
Yeah.
would you would you do that do you competition racing VR full haptic like like that like just like iRacing? Like, have
Yeah.
you done iRacing yet?
No, not racing. I want to
Are you
though.
still planning on it?
Yeah, it's just as of right now, like this, like yeah, it's just as of right now, like For me to do iRacing, I would really have. So I have two like desks I want to put it
Mhm.
as, or like eating tables. Like it's like a table that's meant to like you be able to sit on the couch and eat on, basically. I have two of these things because one of them uses my computer basically, and the other one is for me to like put like my soda cans, my piece, like my mouse, and some other shit, like storage basically. Storage basically. So yeah, I would do it. I would totally do it in one night. Like I don't know.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you doing it at your house. I'm talking about like going to a place to where you got into a machine to where like you'd feel the full simulation, like physical feeling, like it would actually shake you around. Like if you crashed, you'd get like shaken.
Yeah, I would do that. I would totally do that.
Like,
Yeah,
would you imagine like what type of machine it would be?
they actually have those machines. They have
I know
actually,
they do, but I know
and they cost, and they're freaking expensive as shit. I know that.
like full VR. Like, imagine having like VR that's high enough resolution, high enough like FOV, low latency,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be like, would you feel that would be like realistic enough for you to like do that? Like,
Yeah, I would
and like,
totally do that, bro.
would you feel fulfilled doing that like as like a living if you made money doing it?
Shit, man, I would be fucking crazy for that, bro. I'd be crazy for that. I would quit my job at Walmart. I would quit and freaking do that shit. Man, if I was making like money doing that, bro, I would totally do that shit.
Yeah, you just need sponsors.
Well, that too. Like,
You need to start winning races to make money doing it.
shit, I gotta get started doing it for one thing. I just haven't started doing it because
Yeah,
I don't got the time and
because
whatnot.
Merrick was sponsored at one point.
Well, he would like he was sponsored by his dad's place, basically,
Right.
which it's kind of whatever at this point. But you know, like now, I don't know if this is legal because I don't even know if it's street legal. Now, what about if there was a car that literally you couldn't see out of? Now, keep in mind, hear me out on this.
What? You're talking about like a tent so dark?
No, 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 no. No. It's a car that you cannot see out of. But for you to see out of it, you have to need cameras. So the windows are all there's like the window is basically
Is this a
a
hypothetical or does this actually exist?
no. This is hypothetical. I don't think it's
Okay.
this. Everything is a screen basically. Like the window, like the window that you see of so you can see the street is a screen. Your door windows screens. Your back window screen, and it's literally evolved by cameras basically.
Yeah.
So it's so literally like you cannot see so basically you there's no such thing as uh when like pulling down the window so you let air out, like there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
There's literally like it's all cameras basically, and you literally like is it so like when you look into like it's basically a whole screen thing. You're surrounded by screens
Mhm.
basically, and for you to see the outside, the screen has to be on. The camera has
Yeah.
to be on. And let's say that camera breaks, that screen you can't see out of that screen. So let's say the front windshield screen, the camera breaks, you can't drive. Basically.
Damn. Yeah. Well, like I see that happening after like we get to good enough driving AI
Well,
because
yeah,
like the reason why we need windshields, even though there's like self-driving cars, is because the self-driving cars are good enough to like not require that the driver pays attention to the road. But eventually, it'll get to the point to where we'll agree that drivers don't really have to pay attention, and we can trust that the
Well,
AI
yeah.
can do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but like, it's really like, if you turned off the screen, the whole inside the car will be like pitch black, basically. Like
Yeah.
you can't like the only way to see is if you turn
There
like
wouldn't be any
up.
backup lights.
Huh?
There wouldn't be any backup lights.
Like there would be lights. Like of course, like cars have lights. Of course, like there would be lights. But if you turned all those lights off, you turned the screens off, everything. The
Well, if
like.
everything was a screen, because like that would be a really cool car if it was working correctly. Like, let's say it wasn't broken. At night, instead of having lights, you could have a night vision mode on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So like you wouldn't have to worry about, and like you'd be able to see everything perfectly fine.
Well, like yeah, like you still have your, you know, your like your brake lights, your front lights. Like you still
Mhm.
have that, of
Yeah,
course, and whatnot. It's just you can't see outside. You
right.
rely on cameras and whatnot. And
Um,
this and thing is like this has become like a thing, but it's not a true thing. Like the side windows, some cars use them as cameras. So like
mhm,
the the camera, the side window will be a camera, but like the screen will be like inside the car basically and
mhm.
whatnot. Like that's kind of like, or like the mirror for you to use so you can back up, or like the so you can see like behind you. It's not like a real mirror. It's like a backup camera. It's like a
Yeah,
backup camera.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We're
Yeah,
like,
that technology's been around for a while.
yeah. So like we're slowly getting to that point. But it's not like a total thing. But like the cameras have to be like instant response. Like everything that you see is happening in real life, basically.
Um, it has the rates have to be really high.
Yeah, the rates have to be like extremely high, where everything you see is happening like like exactly on point, or like it wouldn't work basically.
All right.
So that would be really cool. I don't know how much that would really exist though, but that would be cool in a way. Like you'll of course have like radio, you'll have you know you'll it will still look like a car inside. Like you have your seats, you have the radio, but like up top of that, where like the where you see out of and whatnot is all screens
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot.
Left screens, right screens, up screens, down
Yeah,
screens.
like you'll be able to, like
Like
you
imagine sitting in a car and you can have like your whole interior disappear, and you're just literally streaming out the video that's outside all around you.
yeah. Now I don't know if you have a sunroof. I don't know if you have that. I don't know. That would be cool, but
Like I would imagine, like is this vehicle electric? Like, are you assuming it's electric or is it like
I would,
still?
well,
Because
maybe like electric or gas. Like I don't know how good. Like how good would it work if it was gas though? Probably not so well. I don't know.
I mean, it would probably work fine. Electricity being generated, but like I'm saying like
It
if
would work more with
you I'm saying
electric.
you'd had like a solar panel on the roof. If you had a
Yeah.
solar panel on the roof to like extend, I wouldn't say to keep running like forever, but I would say to extend the battery life. Like so, like you can use it to power the screens and the camera
Hmm.
pretty much, and then you can use the interior battery to power everything else. Unless it's night, then for night driving, you'd have to use the batteries for everything.
Well, solar panels, you would have to keep your car out in the sun basically. So the
I'm
sun.
saying like for active, like instead of having the solar panels used for charging, it's used for powering um the screen. When you're in the sun, it's powering the screen in your cameras. But when you're not in the sun, like you're using your batteries still. So you're
Hmm.
using your batteries for less things that for a less period of time.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like I kind of just popped this in my head like just now, like it's like epiphany type shit. So, like, I feel like that would be cool in a way, like you'd be able to do that type of shit, like, you know, I feel like it would be better if it was just all electric, like you know, if it was
Yeah, no, if it
gas,
wasn't, it depends on what it is. Yeah,
like if it was gas or maybe even hybrid, like I don't know, like hybrid would even work. I don't know, like shit. Tesla, the motor's like under the fucking car, basically. Like I don't know, like shit, like
you talking about the battery?
yeah,
Yeah,
the battery's like under the car and shit. So like I don't
the
know, like
bat. Think of the battery like the fuel,
yeah,
right? The battery stores the fuel. It's like the tank.
mm-hmm.
So like the motor is actually directly on the wheels.
Which is interesting to me.
Yeah,
Like that, I feel like that's I don't know how Tesla makes their cars is like really like you haven't seen anything like it. You know,
well, it's electric. It
well, yeah, but like I don't know, like when electric cars first came out, it wasn't really like that. Like I don't know, like
they weren't. They were too focused on how green. Like even though Tesla was like focused on how green it was, Elon Musk made it like kind of a fashion statement.
true. That is true. But I don't know, like what was the first like I know there was hybrids, but like what was the first electric car? Or like
I'm talking
what
about in modern times or back when like the first electric car.
well, like I'm talking about like before Tesla came out, what was the electric car?
Let's see.
Because like when Tesla came out, now you see fucking electric cars. Like
You want me to give you like the 1970s electric car?
I'm talking, no, I'm talking about like, just like electric cars before Tesla came out, like around that time. Oh shit! Oh no.
History of electric vehicles.
Hmm.
Did the Leaf come out before or after Tesla?
What's the Leaf?
It's a Nissan.
I don't even know, to be honest. I don't even know. I just know when Tesla came out, that's when like electric cars became a really big thing. Like,
2008.
and what was it?
That was the first Tesla car.
The first Tesla
Tesla
car?
Motors was 2008. Tesla Motors released its first car, the Roadster.
I thought it was the Model X. Oh no! 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 Wait, I don't know anymore. I thought when Tesla came out, they made like a hybrid or whatever. It was a hybrid.
Tesla had never made a hybrid.
So Tesla made an electric car.
Mhm.
Oh shit! Oh, I know what you're talking about. I have it right here on my freaking poster.
Okay.
Not now.
What do you need it for?
I'm gonna mount it to my drawer.
Oh shit!
Cool.
So it's
Oh my
Nice.
god! Yo,
Hey,
Itchy.
look, Freddy.
oh
Hey, Freddy. Just shut the
Yo,
garage.
yo, what? Itchy.
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at it right now.
he's over there.
Bro, I had it on as a poster this whole entire time.
Okay. You had what as a poster this entire time?
The Tesla Roadster
Go ahead.
when it first came out.
You did,
Yeah,
but you
I'm
didn't.
looking.
You didn't know what I was talking about.
Huh?
But you didn't know what I was talking about.
No, 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 no. Okay. I got this poster in elementary school. Okay,
Mhm.
my 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 elementary school was having like a book fair and whatnot, and it was like kind of like my first book fair. Okay,
Yeah.
and I wanted to go to this, so my parents took me to the book fair, and I saw these two posters. It was a Tesla. And when I first saw this car, I didn't think it was a Tesla. I didn't even know what the fuck it was. I just thought it was a red car and was cool. So I got it. Okay. It was a poster. And I got it. I thought it was cool and dandy. And then the other one's like a orange Lamborghini Gallardo.
Okay.
So and this car is on Forza 4. Forza Motorsports 4.
What, the Tesla?
Yeah, the Tesla Roadster. And I remember driving it, like to drift and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it
So
so.
bottom heavy.
What?
I said it's so bottom heavy
What do you mean?
because it has its battery on the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a. By the way, this is a sports car.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think nothing of it. I didn't, like now that I'm reading it, like it has like 14,000 RPM, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. Like this was a fucking fast ass car. Like this was
Yeah.
no gas. I can't read the horsepower. Max net power 248 horsepower. I don't know, to be honest. Like I don't know, but like I didn't think nothing of it. I just got the poster, thought it was cool and everything else, and it was and I didn't even know this was a Tesla until like I literally just looked at it just now and it says Tesla, and I've
Damn, dude.
had this all electric all the time, and I literally had this car in my room for like over a decade, and I think nothing of it at all. And this was Tesla's first car that they ever came out of. And I
Yeah.
had it as a poster. And I didn't think nothing of it. I swear to God.
Well,
I
did you really care about cars that much back then?
No, I cared about cars. I like I knew the Lamborghini was a Lamborghini. Like I knew what
Uh-huh.
back then, but like I saw this car and I didn't think nothing of it. It just said
Uh-huh.
like I didn't know Tesla was a thing until like when Tesla made the Model X and they came out
Mhm.
with the Model X and whatnot, or the Model S or whatever the fuck I forget. But like when they for Tesla officially came out and whatnot, I was like, oh my
Mhm.
god and whatnot, and I still didn't think of this car like I've had this thing in my car for over a decade and it just sat here on my wall and didn't think nothing of it, didn't even look at it like that, like nothing. And now that I'm talking to you, I'm looking at it, I'm just like, bro,
Wow.
I've had this thing in my room for like over a decade and just sat here basically.
Didn't even think about it.
Nope, didn't even think about it.
You're like, no, I'm not a Tesla fan. You know how little of a Tesla fan I am? I had a poster of Tesla. Didn't even know it was Tesla.
Like for real, like I've had a poster of Tesla and didn't think nothing of it. That's fucking crazy. That's like astonishing to me. I have a lot of posters in my room. I can't lie. I have a 49ers poster. I have a 49ers flag.
You have
Like,
a Bears poster?
no, I don't have a Bears poster. I have.
I'm gonna have to get you a Bears poster.
I'll take one. Like, I'll take a Bears poster. I have a NWA poster, a Star Wars poster, Black Ops 2 poster. I have a Black Ops 2 shirt. Another Black Ops 2 poster, a Call of Duty Infinite Warfare poster. Even I barely played it, but I have a Call of Duty Infinite Warfare poster. A NASCAR poster. Oh, the 2011 season. Not poster, a shirt. I have a Call of Duty Black Ops shirt, a Mall for Three shirt actually, that my uncle wore. He died actually, so
Oh.
but he get It actually doesn't look all that because like he was a smoker, so I think like the ash got onto it and stuff. I barely wore like it. I basically made it to like a poster. But I have a Red Dead Undead Nightmare poster, a Black Ops
Um,
1 poster. I have a poster of my name and whatnot. It's my aunt Sue made
is
it.
it your full name or just your left name?
Just like Jacob.
Your
It's
left
just
name? Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And my aunt made it for my birthday. She's dead now, but she's dead. But she made it for my
You
birthday.
know what? But at least you have these mementos.
Yeah, like the Mall for Three, like the Mall for Three T-shirt my uncle had, and he was like a big NASCAR fan. He was a you know and
Yeah.
whatnot. He was like my NASCAR buddy and whatnot. But like yeah, like I used to have a lot more posters than this, and I went through
Like a lot more.
yeah. At one point, I had like a lot more posters, and I went through a phase where like
You loved
I
your posters.
I went like at one point like I got rid of all my posters. Didn't have anything of it. Like my full like room was basically like plain, and then I suddenly just started getting posters again. When I actually wanted to get like I have no room for like any other posters actually.
No, dude, you just need to keep collecting your shoes just like you've been doing.
I have 23 pairs of shoes. The 22 and 20.
How many more do you need to complete your collection?
Never. None.
You know I'm joking with you, right?
Yeah, I know.
I know. I know. It's not done.
I'm never gonna stop. Like I'm gonna be like those celebrities that have like 100 pairs of shoes.
Like you need a left shoe and a right shoe, right? What if you like decided to like rent out your shoes?
What do you mean?
Like you just bought enough shoes. Like you bought multiple pairs of a shoe so you could like rent them.
So people can wear them?
Yeah. And if they scuffed them, then they have to pay you double.
Hell no, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. If I'm buying a pair of shoes, I'm buying a pair of shoes from me. Or like
Right. That's why you buy
unless
2 pairs.
unless it's like I'm buying a pair of shoes like as a present, like let's say my nephew or cousins or whatever.
Oh, have you gotten your nephew like some Jordans yet?
Nah, I haven't bought my nephew any Jordans yet. I'm thinking about. I don't know, like I don't know what size he is, and I don't want to buy a pair of shoes and he can't fit in it. Basically,
Get him some Etnas.
hell no. Like
You don't want to get him Etnas?
nah. See, you're not a luxury person, okay? You don't give a fuck about shoes. I do. Okay, I give a fuck about my shoes.
Man,
You give a fuck about. I mean, like I give a fuck about my shoes. You don't. You can wear some beat up shoes and call it a day. I don't. I wear $200 pair of shoes.
oh yeah, I've worn like really expensive pairs of shoes too. I just
When?
don't really care. I don't. When I was like actually asked for shoes that were expensive. When I was a kid, when I didn't actually pay for my own shoes.
Okay, what pair? Okay, what pair of shoes were those? Then?
I had like some collectible fucking Converse.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. And you fucked
Actually, I ruined a whole. I fucked up one pair and another pair. Like I just don't wear.
Uh-huh. So those aren't fucked up.
No.
So those were like you kept them cool.
Yeah, my Spider-Mans are destroyed though.
Huh, my Spider-Man are destroyed.
Yeah, they were like Spider-Man comic strips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like I just became a real big shoe. Like I've always been a real big shoe person. It's just now that I have money and I can basically spend money, I became a real big shoe person and whatnot. And
You would like to be a? Would you like to be a bigger shoe person, or where do you want to be in that?
like, I just like shoes. Like to me, like I became this type of person where it's been a period of 9 months where like I don't want to wear the same shoe every day. Like, of course, I've done it. I've worn the same shoe every day. Even in the 9 months I had a job and I have money now. I've worn the same shoe before every day. but I want to get to a point where I
You're
have
not.
I have multiple colors of the same shoe, like red, like let's say red and white, or plain red, or black and white, or plain black, or blue and white, or yellow and white, or plain blue, or plain, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have this where I can pick and choose what type of shoe I want to wear and match with my clothes
Right. I know
and
exactly what
whatnot,
you're talking about. I've
and
met
not
people that.
wear the same shoe every day. You know what I'm
Uh
saying?
huh.
Because I do get like, we're like, ooh, I like this shoe, and I want to, and I wear it one day, and then the next day, like, oh, I want to wear this shoe again the next day, which is cool. Like, that's just, I do that, or like, that's on me or whatever. But like, I want to get to a point where I don't have to wear the same shoe every day.
You
I
want to get
think,
to the point to where you can wear, like, it's like I like the same shoe, but like I want to wear the orange ones today.
yeah, like I want to wear the orange ones. I want to wear the yellow ones. I want to wear the white ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get to
Right.
that
Right.
point where, because like I'm a big person on creases, and I don't like creasing my shoes. Like, I became a really big person on like not trying to crease my shoes. Like, it literally pains me when I crease them. Like, it
Mhm.
hurt. Like, I feel like my soul just got
Destroyed.
destroyed when I crease my shoes. And I know, like, it's a shoe. Get over yourself. Yeah, that is true. But that's just who I became as a person. Is I'm really big on jewelry, style of clothes, shoes. Like, I really like putting myself together. You know what I'm saying? Even though, yeah, I could put on some sweats, a sweatshirt, and some $20 shoes and call it a day. Yeah, that is true. But I'm also a person where if I go out with some friends, I put on some, we go out, to not to a party, but like we go out and have some fun. Put on some jeans, a shirt, and some nice shoes, and call it, and flex on a
Call it a
mother,
day.
call it a flex on a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know, not all people are like that. I've met plenty of people at work that are just like, I don't care. I just, shoes are shoes to me, and that's cool. Like, that's all cool and dandy. Some people are even like that, where shoes are shoes to them, but they are gonna buy a pair of $200 shoes and wear them till they run out.
Uh huh.
I've met someone that wears one pair of shoe and he'll wear it until like he can't wear them no more, and then he goes on to the next shoe, and then he goes on to the next shoe, and then, like, so on. That's not me. I'm the type of person where I have all these pair of shoes, and I'm a wear this shoe this day, I'm gonna wear this shoe the next day, or wear this shoe for 3 days, and then wear the next day, wear the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the
Taking
type,
turns.
yeah, taking turns. You know what I'm saying? Because like I just don't want, because I like to mix up my style of wearing clothes. I just don't want to wear white for the next 5 days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to match my shoes with my clothes, at least to a certain extent.
Hmm.
Somewhat matching. Like, yes, I have some shoes that I can't really wear with anything. So like, I'll probably wear like black and white, and then wear this pair of shoes just so like it somewhat matches what the fuck I'm wearing. You know what
Right.
I'm
Matches
saying?
perfectly.
Matches perfectly with the fuck I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just me though. Like, that, I became that type of person. And some people like, bro, like, it's just a pair of shoes. Get over yourself. Why would you spend $10,000 on a pair of shoes? People are like that.
Yeah.
People will spend $10,000
Like
on a pair.
if I had the money to spend $10,000 on like a really high tech setup, I would.
Shit, I would too. For
Like
game
I
setup,
would like.
I would. I
I mean, I
would.
wouldn't spend that kind of money on shoes,
I would.
but I would definitely spend that type of money on like a nice setup.
See, that's the thing. Like, I'm a luxury person. Like, I
Uh-huh.
like Gucci. I like Louis
But I would
Vuitton.
say like I'm a luxury person in a different way. Like I have like
In like technology.
yeah.
Okay, see, like, I'm a luxury person in technology and in clothes and shoes and whatnot. Like, I'm fuck. I'm just in that type of luxury person in general, in a way. Like, I just like expensive shit. it makes me feel good about myself that I can walk around and
Wearing expensive shit.
I can wear my shit costs more than this person. You know what I'm saying? Like it that kind of sounds bougie in a way, and it does. But that's just who I am in a way. I became this bougie ass person where
Bitch. You became a bougie bitch.
fuck you. Yeah, bougie bitch. Like yeah, you could put it that way. I became this like bougie bitch where I am this luxury ass person and whatnot. Where
Bad to the bone.
I walk into a store or a mall, and this person could be his whole entire fit plus shoes could be $100, and my shoes could be $200, and my shoes cost more per. Like you know what I'm saying? I became that, and
Mhm.
that kind of sounds like how does that sound like? That kind of sounds bad, like really bad in a way, like that sounds stuck up or whatever.
Yeah, it definitely does.
That kind of sounds stuck up, but it's just like
You're being a part of that competition.
yeah, like we're like my
Come on, Maggie.
like to other people like my dad has bought $200 shoes, but like in a way that two like it's more like walking shoes. You know, like my
Right.
dad isn't in a whole
What type of shoes
fucking
does he buy that's $200?
like they're like Nike Air Maxes,
Okay.
and you could really say those aren't luxury in a way. You know, those aren't really luxury. They sort of are, but they sort of aren't at the same time in a way. But at the
Uh-huh.
same time, like like my dad has some Kyries or whatever, or red Kyries, which he really likes, my dad isn't like a matching, like he matches, but he isn't a matching person at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Uh-huh.
dad is not that type of person. Like my mom isn't that type of person either. Like my mom has like Michael Kors purses and whatnot. Like my mom is a luxury person in a way. My dad kind of isn't. Like my dad's
Maggie.
totally off. Like my mom's a gambler. My dad isn't. Like my dad doesn't really care about money. Like my dad knows how to make money and whatnot. It can make money, but my dad isn't a money person. My mom
Right.
is. My mom is more of a luxury person in a way and whatnot. And her children are luxury people in a way. My little sister is a little different, but like my
So you're
brother,
saying you're a luxury girl?
huh?
You're a luxury girl
No, I'm not a luxury girl, but like,
living in a luxury world.
no, I'm not a luxury girl, but like, I don't know. I just like my the bottom line is people live different lives and whatnot.
Yeah.
People
People
live
live very
different.
different lives.
People live different lives. You live a different life. I live a different life, and
They
those
have different
two
preferences, different paths.
different purposes, different paths, but those people can come together and be friends. Even though yes, you like different stuff, I like different stuff, but we can become friends in a way and like the same stuff. Like me, like how me and you are became friends is we met on Call of Duty Ghosts, and
Exactly.
it went on from there.
In
It's in
technology in general. Yeah.
technology in general. Like it's 2022. Like me and you've been friends for almost 10 years, basically.
Uh huh.
Like
Uh huh.
it's became to that point in a way where yeah, you might like different stuff, but we co it's not coexist, but like became friends as in technology.
Right, because I can converse in your interest and you can converse in mine.
Yeah, well that's true, but the reason why I became friends is technology. You know, like
Yeah.
I became friends with my coworkers because we work in the same place.
Right. Would
And
you like what I see in a lot of jobs is like when you stop working there or somebody stops working there, like you always hope that you're gonna be friends, but a lot of times it doesn't happen. Like you've noticed that, have you?
yeah, like like when they stop working there, like yeah, like at before you all were friends, and you guys add each other on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, and you slowly but surely like drift apart, stop
Uh huh.
talking, stop DMing each other, like
See, senior.
and you just you go different ways, and that happens, like It's not like, oh, that person doesn't like you no more, or you're, or it's just like it just happens in a way. It's nothing against you, and it's nothing against the other person. It's just you guys stop working in the same place, so you guys stop.
Right, that's all you had in common.
Yeah, that's true, but like, you know,
Well, it's
like,
the same thing with like gaming. If you like don't play the same games anymore, or like you're not running in the same gaming circles, people lose touch that way too in gaming.
yeah, you're not wrong. That's true. Also, like, it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like me and you became more than just friends because of technology.
Right, right,
On a more, this is gonna sound corny, but on a more personal level and whatnot,
right.
like,
It's more than just Xbox, right?
yeah, it's more than
That's
it's just more than technology, and I know technology, even though you know way more technology than Miles and more technology than I do. But
I mean, you definitely because like what I'm helping you with stuff I've never even touched.
yeah,
Like I don't know how much help I'm actually being, but it seems like I'm helping out a little bit.
uh-huh.
Like
But you
you,
still know miles of technology more than I do. Like miles. Like I know technology, but to a certain extent, you know the ins and outs of technology.
I mean, that's what I'm going to school for.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, you know, even before that, but you knew the ins and outs of technology. Like, I know technology, but very, to a very certain extent.
Mhm.
You know technology miles and miles above what I know. Like,
Well,
you'll beat my ass at technology and whatnot because you know miles
no,
and
I mean,
miles.
I just hope to help set you up, like in the future, with a nice like automation system for your house, because that's really where it's going. Like, no, like really, like that's what like smart homes is the new. If you end up getting a house that's not pre-equipped with a smart home in the future, I'll set you up. I'll build one custom.
Like, and see, that's the thing. Like, I hope to meet you in person in the future. I don't know when that's ever gonna be though. Like,
Right.
I hope to eventually meet you in person. It's just, as of right now, as of time, who knows when that's ever gonna happen.
Of course.
But I just hope in the future that it does happen, where me and you can become meet in the future, and go out to a bar and drink a little, and just have a cool time. Like, that's what I hope. And
Hmm.
whenever I do come to Indiana, or you come to California, or even if you go to New York and I go to New York, and we, like, what I'm saying, like,
Yeah. I doubt you'd ever want to come to Indiana, but
why? Well, shit, I would love to go to Chicago. To be honest,
yeah, Chicago would be a cool place to go.
I would love to go to Chicago. And
I mean, South Bend is like right there. You can go to Chicago and like a day trip, make a day trip out of it. Like really, right where I'm at, you can go to Chicago and still make a day trip out of it and come back home the same day.
But don't you have to go on the train and whatnot?
Yeah, it'd be a train. I mean, you could also drive,
But you
but
said
you'd probably
there's traffic.
the traffic gets bad if you drive. It's more worth it to go by train.
Yeah, which I don't know. Like, I like there's a lot of people that I've met on Xbox that I probably would never be able to, like, see in person. Like Dirt, for example, I'll probably never be able to see in person. Like, uh, Merrick, I'll probably never be able to see in person. Like, there's a lot of people that I became friends with on
See, what
Xbox.
we need to do if we ever meet, we need to go like. If I come down there, you need to take me to like some theme park that's over by you. I'm gonna bring you over here, and you come to like Cedar Point or something.
To
Except
where?
that Cedar Point, that's in
Cedar.
Ohio.
Oh, Cedar's Point. See, Dirt
Yeah,
lives in Ohio.
yeah. I've been to like I remember talking to Dirt. He said at one point he worked at Kalahari, which I've been to the Kalahari in Sandusky, which that's the same city that Cedar Point's in. So it's also very likely that he could be there at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Which, like, I would love to meet Derek in person. Also, like, I've known him for over a decade. I think now, me and him been friends over a decade. So, like I said, like I've became friends with a lot of people over Xbox, just over Xbox
Right.
360. Like, I've made a lot of friends online that I probably would never be able to meet in person because,
It's just so expensive to like travel.
well, not even just expensive to travel or whatever, just like it's just not in the cards right now. The cars you know, are just online.
Stacked against you at the moment.
Yeah, and it's the way it is and whatnot. So, like, I don't know, like I said, maybe down the future, whenever me and you be able to.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, because like, who knows? A lot of people that are graduating right now, which I'm not graduating yet, but like people that I'm taking classes with, and they're graduating this semester. Like, they're getting jobs out in like Oregon and California and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When I graduate, I could get a job out in California.
Like Microsoft or not? Well, actually, Google's in California. Microsoft's in
Mhm.
Washington,
Mhm.
state. But yeah, that could happen.
Yeah. So like,
Shit.
I could end up moving over closer
If
to
you
you.
work for Google, you live in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Shit, that would be crazy, man. I've never been to the Google campus. I've never even seen it.
Oh yeah.
I've always wanted to go though.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool. I mean, at least for me to get the interview, I'd have to go to the Google campus anyway. So like, even if I don't get it, I'd have to go there to like interview. But like, I'm not necessarily talking about Google in particular. It's just there's tons of there's tons of tech jobs out there, other than those big name ones.
Like, you could work for Pixar, like animation. Well, no.
Yeah, if I do, because I'm going into next semester, I'm doing game development, and I'll be doing 3D modeling.
Yeah, so like, Pixar's in San Francisco also.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is in San Francisco. There's other ones I forget. Like, there's other ones that are not coming to mind at the moment. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like, it would be cool,
Right. Right.
especially
And if
for Google.
any of my self-made projects make it, if I don't like work out there, if I make enough money on like self-made projects, then I wouldn't worry about having a job for a while anyway. And I'd go try to adventure out.
Travel.
Yeah, with like, because if I can produce enough apps, because like after next semester, I plan on pretty much spitting out apps for a while, like trying to practice and get better and better. Because I want to eventually release Colter's Quest, which is the main game. But like, I need to hone my craft, and to do that, I'm just gonna have to like keep practicing. And so I want to keep like producing like on a regular basis.
Well, yeah, like,
Game.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it. I don't know.
It's like you, like how I'm trying to motivate you with your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like I've done like game development stuff in the past, but like I don't know enough about it, and like I've gone the path of like trying to build my own engine, and I've gotten to like the point of building an entity component system. But like I know I'm trying to go back to school, and like just one thing at a time. I don't need to be focusing on engine development right now because I'm like trying to because if I get my degree, then I can get a job, and like my free time, if I have any, I could be using to develop my own stuff. Because ultimately, I just want to like work on my own personal projects. Like,
yeah, like
that's
that.
what I've always.
Like that's
Yeah.
cool. Like, like that's cool and dandy. Like, it's
Right. But like having a nice job, having a skill that you get you a really nice job.
Working for Google.
Yeah.
Shit, you can get a place at Activision. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Google, your standard will be a lot more higher. If you got applied for Google, got a job at Google, worked there for maybe 5-6 years or whatever. I'm just example, okay?
Yeah, I don't know how long people actually work there, but
I was just making an example. You can get a job at Pixar, then you can get a job at Disney, you can get a job at Universal Studios. Like, you can get a job anywhere. Like, working for Google. Like
Uh,
you're set. Like you know what I'm saying. Like your profile will be more set and whatnot,
right,
and
right.
you could do a lot more shit and whatnot. You'll get hired a lot easier. Like people
Uh,
will pick you over somebody else that's just now starting out. You know what I'm saying? Like
for kind of a silly reason, right?
yeah, of course. Like it's
I mean, it's reputation. It's all about reputation. You get more reputation as you do more work, but it's
yeah,
like a
that's
very
true.
specific reputation. Like some reputations worth more than others.
I feel like Google will be a very big reputation.
Yeah.
You know, working for Google, like animation and or whatever the fuck. Like, it's your profile. What is on your resume? That fuck profile. What the hell? That's retarded. Resume. Like, well, profile is a resume is kind of like a profile. You
You
know,
know,
huh?
I don't know, because like I'm not really focused on where I'm getting a job right now. Like it would be
Mhm.
really cool to work for Google. I do know that the skill I'm going into does allow for like high paying jobs, but like really right now, like I recently did I was working for the school I go to doing the high school coding competition. So I was
Mhm.
proctoring for the coding competition, right?
Mhm.
And then they talked about like next semester because they did it in 2019 and they stopped after that because of COVID.
Mhm.
But like they did the ACM coding competition, which the ACM is the Association for Computing Machinery, and like
Mhm.
I don't know, I think building because yeah, it's all cool and dandy for me to like imagine getting a job at some place like Google, but like before I get a job at Google, it would be nice to buff my resume with things like doing the ACM coding competition. You know, like
Mhm.
seeing like if we place at all anything decent, which what I heard is like, I mean, it's really difficult to even place at all.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like apparently last time they did it, the school I'm going to only completed one problem, but they did better than Notre Dame.
Damn.
Yeah, Notre Dame didn't finish any, and a lot of schools did. More than half the schools didn't finish in. So only completing one, my school got in the top 40.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah,
Well, like
like
that's what I'm saying. Like it's cool.
yeah, like I'm saying, like because I it's a great idea to imagine because like yeah, what I'm doing now, doing plugins and stuff, I can fully and wholeheartedly imagine making money doing the Minecraft plugin at this point in time because I already see a path of making money for it in the immediate term. But like imagining what type of job I'd be having like I don't know. I don't even know how long into the future. Like I don't even know how close I'm done with school. Like I know a lot of classes I'm taking people are finished with, but like I'm with the number of credits I have, I don't have nearly enough credits to graduate. So like people,
Well, okay. So that Minecraft thing.
yeah,
If that Minecraft thing does not blow up, but like if it
it
makes a
only
lot,
needs to get a certain number of downloads. Like a lot of money is relative. Like
yeah.
because I have other avenue. Like it's just an avenue of making money. I want to open up as many avenues of making money without having to do that much work.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm saying what I was getting to is if that Minecraft thing does make some amount of money where you could live off of, not like millions of dollars, but like you could,
No,
be
but it's
sustained.
it's like how you were talking about with the Uber stuff. It's an additive. It's not. I don't plan on living off of the money I make off of that server.
But okay, but let's say if you can. Okay, let's say
Mhm.
if it does get to that point. Okay, and keyword, it's not like $100,000 or hundreds of $1,000s or millions. This is
Right,
going
right.
with where it's just sustained, where you can make you can live
Let's
off
say it
of
was
it.
making like $30,000.
Fine, let's go with
Like
that.
that's not very high.
But
That's like a
that's still a decent amount of money. Let's go with
hmm.
that. And let's say you can live off of it. You can get an apartment. You can pay off your car. You can pay your car note, your rent for your shit, groceries, the whole nine. You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And let's say it makes like $30,000 a month or whatever.
No, I was thinking more like a year, but like that's like a low end of like what somebody would actually be making a year. Like not necessarily doing that because with that it depends very heavily on how many people are downloading, how many people have it downloaded. But like if we're making that much money on it, making $35,000 a year, then a certain number of people have to have it downloaded. So like what is your question?
Would you still consider like getting a job at Google or whatnot, or getting a job like at Facebook or
If
Microsoft,
I was only
Pixar?
making $35,000 a year, like yeah, I'd probably consider it. But like because my point, let's say I'm making that kind of money on it. That's not enough money to retire on. If I was making
Hell
$35,000 a
no.
year, so like if I was to work at Google and I was also making $35,000 a year on the server, as if I'm still allowed to use it, because sometimes contracts might disallow things like that depending on what you're doing. Um,
Hmm.
but like if I was still allowed to do it and still allowed to make money doing it, um, and work at Google, then that would help me retire sooner rather than later. So then, yeah, I'd probably still take a job at Google.
Yeah, or you could do this where if let's say Google's like, no, you cannot use that server, or you can't do that anymore. Could you still take that money as in savings and put
Like, are you
it
talking
to?
about like if when I shut it down, I can still take the money from it?
No, they would make you shut it down.
Yeah,
Oh shit! Because I was saying like, don't
like they
take
either
like.
shut it down or I can't have any. Like I pretty much have to give up like all my portion of it or lock it down. Like I wouldn't be able to touch it because I technically only own half of the server. So like if
Yeah.
something like that was to happen, then
How would they? Okay, so like, let's say yes. How would they still know you're taking money from it? Like, how would they? Like, what
if
about
they were
if
to
it? What
ever
about if it's like under the
if they were to
table type
ever
shit?
catch me, if they were to ever catch me taking money,
Oh,
because if it was under the table thing, that's the same thing. If you're caught taking money under the table, that's when you get in
shit!
trouble.
I've taken money under the table before.
I know you've admitted it many times.
I've taken money under the table, but like, who doesn't take money under the table?
Every once in a while. It depends on how much it is, really. If it's a super low amount, then it doesn't really matter. But
Like, to me, like money is money. If you don't
uh,
got if under the table you don't gotta pay taxes on it and whatnot, shit. Like, I don't know. That's just
but
me
then
though.
again, you got to think like you're using the notion that the person driving for Uber is self-employed, right?
But
Well, when
that's
you're
not
taking
under
money
the
under the
table.
table, no, I know, but that's the same thing as when you're getting paid under the table. You can legally get paid under the table as if you were self-employed.
Hmm.
Then, like, if it's up to between the two parties to actually say it on their taxes. So if you were to actually be self-employed, but somebody was paying you under the table, but you are a self-employed person, you could declare that on your taxes that transaction has taken place. Um, but the other person doesn't. So then who gets in trouble there?
Hmm. Yeah, that is true. I don't know who would get in trouble.
Would anybody get in trouble? If
I
it's a
don't
low
think.
enough amount of money, I don't think so. But if it's high enough, then perhaps.
Well, well, at that point, you just gotta be smart with your money, and
Uh,
put like a little portion
these
of it in.
nuts.
No,
Uh huh.
put a little portion of it into your bank account as you go. So, like, let's say you get 50 grand.
Uh
You
huh.
put like 1,000. You have it in cash or whatever. And you just have 1,000 of it, each going in maybe every week, every 2 weeks every, like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't get caught of getting a government into your fucking on your doorstep talking about where's our $50,000.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think some people should do. Instead of, you have it in cash, you just put a portion of it each time into your bank account and whatnot. So it looks like you're not just getting 50,000 out of nowhere in the bank accounts. Like,
You're literally just trying to figure out a way to like, oh yeah, if Google was to not allow me to continue making money on this, because this is what this conversation is. If they were to not allow me to continue making money on it, how can I continue sneaking the money? That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, man. Who wants to pay taxes on money, bro? Who wants to do that shit?
Exactly. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Especially feeling you coming from California. Like, I know my state,
bro,
lower taxes in
they take taxes out of my out the ass, bro. I don't give them. I get direct deposits, so I don't even see the check anymore. But it's just like they take money out of my shit. Like, I would make 1,400 every 2 weeks if they didn't take money out of my shit.
Right.
If I worked for 2 weeks straight, I would make $2,000 every 2 weeks. Because I would make 1,400 every 2 weeks. Plus tax, I would make around 2,000. So that being said, I would make around $4,000 a month. So that being said, they take around what? $800 a month out of my paycheck?
It's wild.
Something like
Can
that.
Can you believe that?
They take $800 because they take. I would make 1,400. I don't even make that. I make like 1,100 sometimes. 1,100 sometimes.
1,100 a week.
Every 2 weeks. So I
Every
make
2
like
weeks. Okay.
1,100.
So you make like five. You make like five. What? 550.
Something like 700. I don't. It depends. Like, it depends. Like, how many days.
550 is like 1,100.
I
every
make
2
like
weeks.
I make like 500. Yeah, I work like 5 days a week. So you put that together, 8 hours a day, not 8 to 9 hours a day. So like 1,100, depending on how much I work. So and overtime and everything else, I would make around $2,000 every 2 weeks, which is $4,000 a month. They take around $800 out of my paycheck every month, basically. Plus of I put $100 a paycheck into 401k, so I lose $200 every month into 401k. So, like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, bro. That's like many to me and whatnot. Bro, California just be taking money, bro. California just be taking shmoney, man. But that's taxes.
You like them taking your money?
No.
You feel like you're being represented by it?
Bro, I feel played. I feel played, man. I feel played.
Do you feel like you're being represented as equally as everybody else?
Hell no.
You feel like other people are being represented more than you?
Hell yeah.
Who's being represented more than you?
Especially those Filipinos that work there, bro. Man,
oh my god.
They begin, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They begin away with fucking shit there, bro. They begin away with hella shit there, and fucking irritates my soul.
At Walmart.
At Walmart, bro. They begin away with hella shit, and it's like, bro, you bitch, you sucker.
You like boba tea?
He's fine.
It's fine. You don't like it?
Nah.
You don't like the tapioca balls?
Nah. I don't even know, to be honest. It's all bullshit, bro. It's all gay. It's all us gay as shit, bro.
I had a watermelon one today. It was actually pretty good. I told somebody, I described it to somebody because I haven't had one in like forever. And then I actually forgot what it tastes like. They're like, "What are the balls like?" And I was like, "They're kind of slimy and they taste like nothing." And then I had somebody try it. And they're like, "Yeah, it tastes like nothing." It's like,
Bro, what the fuck?
yeah,
That's
they're like,
hella nasty.
it's made out of tapioca.
That's hella nasty. That's hella nasty, bro.
I mean, the flavor's in the drink part. The tapioca ball is just for texture.
The tapioca is just for texture, you said?
Yeah,
I guess so. I don't know. This is not.
so I wouldn't drink it.
You
Is
wouldn't-
that what stopped you from? I know I was pretending to be you. I was like, I wouldn't drink it.
Hell no.
You've had it before, haven't you?
I believe so. I don't. Bro, I've had a lot of shit. I don't even remember no more. What bro, it's probably me being tired right now that I just can't think of shit anymore. To be honest. But I think we're gonna call it here. This
Okay,
is over.
goodbye, podcast.
We'll see y'all later. Damn, what a rush. Goodbye, podcast. We'll see you later. Like, damn. But anyway, we've been streaming.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
We've been recording for over 2 hours. Possibly.
Good night.
So, good night. Peace out, Girl Scout. That's my line, Itchy. That's my line. Peace out, Girl Scout.